send off all these mugs again, clear it all up. I'll say it once again. If you don't like me that much, there's a barn at the side here. Step in it with me. Lock us in, and the best man will walk out, no holds barred. But again, a disclaimer, serious harm, can I care, or will I care? Put that in your pipe and smoke it, tossers.
Oh, fucking twat.
What's good, everybody? Happy Friday to you all. Who we got in the building? James Jameson. What's good with him, my good man? 50 pence in the meter, yeah. Big Rick from across the pond. Salute to you, Random Don. Hope you're well, buddy. Wilder's getting terrorised today for that privileged BS, yeah. Boxing Kangaroo, salute to you as well, my good man. Hope you're all well on this Friday. Right, it's been a colourful weekend boxing. I think I've only done one video this week, but I thought I'll save the rest for this week's live stream. Let's get this off the screen. So, I hope you're all well anyway. Right, what do you want to start with? Should we start with the Deontay Wilder situation? What occurred? Was it yesterday or day before? So Wilder goes off his head at Simon Jordan because Simon Jordan was prodding him about the questions of him questioning, saying that still all this time later that Tyson Fury's a cheat. And Wilder got a bee in his bonnet and lost his rag and stormed out of the studio after giving Simon Jordan a gobful. So let me read the chat quick. Good day, Skip. Oh, yeah. Royce, salute to you, my good man. Hope you're well. I'm just kicking back, enjoying life, hoping my white privilege card turns up soon. This working for a living sucks, yeah. Shanite, that's jumped on me. I'll have to come back to it. Figure it all. This race stuff is real. I'm sick of it, Loz. Yeah. Bronze bottom Wilder. Yeah. Well, g'day. Oh, speaking to James. What did Wilder turn it to race for? I have no clue, mate. I have no clue. Now, as you know, I quite like Deontay Wilder. I always have. I've liked him. I know he comes out with some ludicrous stuff. But when I started hearing all that cheating stuff, I never really spoke about it, because I just thought it was bullshit. You know what I mean? I mean, to me, it's just there's been no evidence whatsoever. I mean, I know the LDBC have come up with all these allegations and stuff like that he's done this. He's had egg weights in his glove and his water was spiked and Mark Breland was setting him up. And it's just ludicrous, man, because at the end of the day, you got beat. And the same goes for Tyson Fury, because Tyson Fury has done the same thing with Alexander Usyk. Not to the same extreme, but he's still, to this day, all these years later, still going on about him being cheated by the fucking the judges and stuff like that. You know the scorecards. Let me read this quick. Just jumped. Thomas, salute to you, my good man. Hope you're well, buddy. Yeah, Deontay the bronze Batty Wilder. He's ruthless. It's really yanks my chain. The low IQ idiots bring racing to any argument and has nothing to do with the argument. What a great comment. What a great comment. Because Simon Jordan mentioned there's never been anything about race. I just think all as I can put it down to is Deontay Wilder is a sore loser that obviously that a white guy beat him. And he doesn't like it. Which is just fucking absurd, man. It's absurd. Because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what skin colour you are. And that shouldn't be brought into it, like we're saying. Look how many different races there are in boxing, and how many different races and religions and colours and all kinds of stuff beat one another. It's so losing. That's all it is. Now, like I say, I did read some comments where people were saying, well, he said he didn't want to talk about it and Simon was prodding. But at the end of the day, you shouldn't go in a studio and if you go in a studio, you should be prepared to answer any questions what are asked of you. That's the be and end all of it. Otherwise, don't go in there. Um, I had if he Wilder ruined my Black History Month when Fury whooped him, he deserves it for that race baiting. Ruthless. Especially multi-millionaire dude telling me how hard their struggle was. Yeah, I can understand if he's come from a struggle, but you've made it. Be thankful. We don't need to hear about it every 10 minutes. Do you know what I mean? Mark Breland jizzed in Wilder's. Oh, come on, man. Fury should have won all the fights against Wilder. Chizzy 10% battery, Wilder 10% brain power. Yeah, it's shit like what Wilder says that makes people racist. What a fucking great comment. I mean, I did like how Derek went, oh yeah, fuck this, I'm up out of here. And he went for get up and fuck off. And Simon Jordan shot him down quickly, very quickly. He said, look, Derek, don't be a dick. What are you being a dick for? Stop being a dick. It's not about race. And then Derek fucking sat back down then. Because I think Derek was going to try and play, oh, well, he's the struggle from the South and all this. Yeah, I know black people. We all know black people struggle in America. They have done for years, but it's not only just black people. It's not only just black people. I mean, I can't really comment, obviously, because I don't live over there, but black people, white people, Chinese people, purple people, all kinds of people struggle all around the world. It's not just one Pacific race. Do you know what I mean? And to, like you say, to bring racism into it has got fuck all to do with the fight. You got beat fair and square. There's no cheating. There's no fucking. You've got no evidence. Because if you did, where is the evidence? It's just all you've got is a bunch of divvies on the internet running with the narrative. That's all. Because if he had groundbreaking evidence, then why is he never taking him to court? And why did he fight him the third time? If he cheated you in the second fight, like all these clowns have said for years, then why did you fight him for a third time? Because I know if I fought someone and he cheated, and even if I didn't have evidence and I speculated that up here that he was a cheat, then I won't fucking fight him a third time. It's just bullshit, man. To be fair, Simon's an idiot. Wilder said no. Why press it further and not respond? Yeah, I understand that. Yes, you have got a point there. But at the end of the day, as well, like I said before, Random Don, you should be prepared to answer any questions. I think so, because if I was a journalist, I would be asking them questions. And I've always stated that boxing journalists don't probe these boxers for proper questions. So I have to go with Simon Jordan. I think he had a right to ask that question. I'm still struggling till this day. You're not the only one, buddy. Chizzy giving Wilder the tissues was funny. Yeah, now the black don't struggle. Everyone struggles. What right do anyone else to get blacks? I totally agree. Random Don. I totally agree. Black British people have had racism. White people have had racism. Chinese people have had racism. Arab people have had racism. We're all the fucking same, man. I was brought up to fucking look at people. I don't see skin colour, me. I don't see it. I just see people. That's how my mum and dad brought me up. Yeah, I've been called racist names before, but Man, I don't hear that shit anymore. That shit's, I don't know. Like I say, I don't live in the fucking South, but I agree with that comment, what you said. Dirty, poor, white, privileged kids in Alabama, lol. Yeah, of course there is. Reminds me of Bernard Hopkins telling Joe Calzaghe he'll never be beat off a white boy. Yeah. Did you hear him try to say the word documentary? Yeah. 20 million to get hit by an egg weight. Yeah, exactly. Wilder documentary coming soon, James Pisser. Ginger people get hit worse, facts. James Dixon, salute to you, man. He's put, try being born in the 60s. Try walking a mile in the shoes, or being more accurate, my big sister hand-me-downs. Yeah, exactly. No excuses. Simon Jordan and Fury. White privilege. Oh, come on, man. Ruined me. Felt my black costume was on me. Fucking pisser. Big Belly Miller, the syrup wearing joke fighter. Yeah. Loz, I'm exactly the same, mate. I love all people. Ginger cunts. They're strange. Except except ginger cunts. There's fucking pisser. They're strange. Even White's experience races, 78 BMI TV. Yeah, favourite fighter Haney did. Yeah, Wilder response to Talksport is a prime example of what happens when you call out a kid and they throw a tantrum and cry. What a fucking great comment. What a great comment, Warrior. Bang on, buddy. That's what I mean. I like Deontay Wilder, right? And I've always said this. And I'll always like Deontay Wilder because I thought he was an exciting fighter. And I like him. He's outlandish with some of the stuff what he says. That, to me, was what Warriors just said. A kid throwing a tantrum. That's all it is. And you're using the race card as an excuse. Deontay Wilder, you weren't cheated, brother. Tyson Fury might be many things, but he's not a cheat. And you weren't set up because you're black. It's bullshit, man. Mark Breland copped for it because knobheads on the fucking internet were saying stuff. And Wilder ran with the narrative. Where's your proof? Where's the egg weight? What was in the water then? What spiked him? Why did you fight him a third time? It's just ludicrous, man. Like I say, I can't comment on the struggles in America because I've never been to America and I don't live there. But for me, the answer is there, what Warriors just said. That's the perfect answer for this scenario. You tantrum because you got beat. And you're using racism as a card because a white guy beat you and you don't like that. Because a white guy was not supposed to beat you. Because that's what happens when you talk to groups what are like the fucking Black Power shit. These Black Panther shit. It's bullshit, man. It's fucking bullshit. I'm glad in a way Ryan whooped his ass. Yeah, he's another one who comes with that shit. But when you hang around with the LDBC, this is what happens. Because they played that race card shit. Big Rick. How's it going, Big Rick? Lost. Did Parker and Zhang cheat Wilder too because they both beat him? What a fucking great comment. What a great comment. What a great comment. Mate, that makes sense then, Wilder. Fucking great comment. Fury is a cheat, but in different ways. Yeah, you know what, Loz? Wilder's happy to talk about all this cheating when the people interview and agree with his bullshit. But as soon as a normal level, he goes crazy. Bang on, kangaroo, bang on. And he did claim a uniform was ever, yeah, spiked water, floppy gloves. That's what I mean. Wilder has black privilege. He has been allowed to fight bums with the WBC belt, dodged Dillian White, and he had a Kenny Bailey as a referee. Yeah, fair point. White supremacy referee, long count. He's talking to where's a drunk Kennedy Bailey's my favourite. Yeah, he's talking to JD. Kenny Bailey says a white supremacist. He should have let Wilder get a 100-second count. You're fucking crazy, you, mate. Gaz, salute to you. Gary, Tracy, I hope you're well, man. But hey, Loz, hey to you, man. I hope you're good up there in Scotland, buddy. The fact that Wilder's opponent, Chisora, is black and has been beaten by Fury 3 times and hasn't said anything about this B shit. Exactly. What a great comment, man. Because we don't play that shit over here. Like I say, I know black Americans have had struggles. Yeah, they have. Of course they have. But so's everybody else. So has everybody else. And like you said before, it shouldn't just be privileged for that. That's like when all that Black Lives Matter shit went on. I was fucking interested in that shit. Yeah, it's a shame what happened, but all life should matter. Am I right? Or am I wrong? Not just one particular fucking race. All races, all lives should matter. That's how I see it anyway. I don't come with that fucking black power bullshit, man. The fact that Wilder's, what a great comment, Warrior. Most protected heavyweight champion ever. Yeah, facts, James. Wilder ain't for his people. He married a Filipino. Whereas Fury and Wilder offered both 100 million to fight AJ. Good point, yeah. What's up, Loz? What's up, OG? Salute to you, Bruce. Hope you're well, buddy. Thanks for coming through. 100%, Loz. We all bleed the same. Exactly, mate. We all piss the same. We all shit the same. We all bleed the same. And we all breathe the same fresh air. I've never been down for that racist shit, me, man. Never, ever. I just, like I say, I see all colours. I don't see colours. I just see all as human beings, man. End of the day, I think Simon Jordan, it's not very often I go off big up for Simon Jordan, but he had a right to ask some questions. And if you know anything about TalkSport, you know that Simon Jordan, every now and then, he will probe fighters for them questions. He will prod you. And that is good sports journalism, I think. Because you can't sugarcoat around these fighters. Why should you have to? Yeah, I understand they're in the ring and they put their life on the line for us, but we pay your wages, so it's given both ways. You should be able to be asked proper questions. Now, I listened to Addy saying, yeah, Simon always asks proper questions, and I put a comment, I said, no, he doesn't. Did he ever ask Conor Benn about his evidence of where his 270-page dossier and his all his proof what he was going to come to the board? Because he didn't. He never asked him about that. And some guy put, this is irrelevant because it's got nothing to do with Conor Benn. And I said, yeah, it has, because he's talking about Simon Jordan always asking proper questions, which he doesn't. If you watch TalkSport, you know he doesn't. He never asked Fury about why he was ducking Usyk for them 2 years, why he was dragging it out. He never asked Daniel Dubois why he went missing for them 27 days and what this illness was. So, I made that comment, but I stick by what I say. Simon Jordan had a right to ask them that questions. Let me just read this chat. It's just jumped on me. Wilder is still tapping his brother's wife. Oh, you're mad. Trust me, I really don't like what Wilder has been saying, and I think Chisora wins. However, it would be epic if Wilder suddenly threw a KO right hand and finally saw the bronze bomber once again. Well, that's what they were saying, weren't they? Spencer was rimming. He was going, oh, yeah, well, we've seen the bronze bomber now. Now you've revved him up. Both Fury and Wilder are offered the same money to fight AJ and blew it. Yeah, all life should matter, Loz. Not sure about the ginger ones, though. Ruthless. I'm going to have to skip the chat because I'm way behind. Dillian and Miller had already nailed Wilder's bird before the bronze bumps. You lot are ruthless. Hey, Loz. Chisora apparently said to Simon, don't bring it up. So why didn't he listen? Fury's not to do with this. Yes, That's a good point. Like I say, I agree with you to a certain way. Yes, I do. But it's not for Derek to say, don't bring it up. I don't think so. Yeah, I understand they're not there to talk about Tyson Fury. So you could say, yeah, in a way, 60-40, he's right what he said. Don't bring it up. But I still believe that he should be able to ask what questions he wants. Why not? Why not? It's not as if he's ever been interviewed over in the UK about it, not to my knowledge. So it's a big baby is allowed to wear a toupee. Shouldn't Conor Benn be allowed to wear a gimp mask? Ruthless. Now Simon's shit most of the time. He talks Usyk and he trashes Usyk any time he gets and never credit for his achievement. Cracking, absolutely doesn't. Yep, Simon thrashes Usyk for no reason. Yeah, he does. Never knew wig glue was white. You ruthless git. Okay, he had a right to ask, but why push it? Yes, I understand that. Maybe he shouldn't have pushed it when Wilder said, I don't want to talk about it. And he went, no, we're going to talk about it. And then Wilder said, no, we're not going to talk about it. So, yeah, in a way he should. But I don't know, man. I don't know. For me personally, I think he has a right to ask the question. Maybe not to push it, but to bring in racism, I don't know. For me, I just think it's balmy. I think it's ludicrous. And the cheating shit, Fury ain't a cheat, man. I don't care what anyone says. You've got no evidence. That's why you've never provided any evidence. There's never been one shred but there's been many accusations against Tyson Fury. Accusations, should I say. But there's never been one shred of proof. Not one shred of proof that Tyson Fury ever cheated him. Never. He was talking to Simon as a proper floggy. He was allowed to ask questions. Chisora must have known something about Wilder for him to give Simon that instruction. Well, they're good mates, aren't they, Derek and Wilder? You can see that. You can see the respect in the fucking in the build up to the fights. You know, as they've been going around the country and America. Chisora should have been a dick with Simon, considering he slates Usyk all the time. Yeah, it's on the record who Wilder says he don't want to talk to him for a man up Wilder. Yeah, if Wilder was cheated, he would have never fought him again. Exactly, logically, Wilder never went to the commission. Exactly, it's all in the documentary. Ruthless. Right, let's get off that title anyway, because I don't talk about that shit no more, man. It's just bullshit. It was entertaining, to see Wilder blow up, but just leave it where it is now, man. It's over and done with. Right, yeah, let's get on about Toupee. This fucking crazy dude, man. Mr. Wiggy. Does anyone ever remember Jasper Carrot? Wiggy. Fucking made me laugh. I didn't watch any of this boxing. I couldn't stay up, man. Class Air Millie, yeah. Twiggleish is red rotten, yeah. Wig baby time. This guy's off his fucking... He's off his guts, man, isn't he? He's seriously off his nut. So all these years... Has he been bald all these years or what? Or was he... I don't know, man. It's fucking mad. I couldn't believe it when I woke up next day and I seen someone put on one of the videos. Gerald Miller gets his wig punched off. What are they talking about? And I clicked on it and I couldn't stop laughing. I couldn't stop laughing. Did you see it flapping up as he was getting it? He was lifting. Fucking unbelievable, man. I've not seen it. I've not seen the card. It was a highlight of the card. So yeah, I love Jasper Carrot. Yeah, he was great, wasn't he, Jasper? Class Air Miller. I've seen it now. Surely it's got enough money for that hair transplant. It's mad. So to think that when he had all them funky dreads years ago, he was a toupee. Fucking unbelievable. I tell you what, he only just fucking scraped it, that win as well, didn't he? I've read that. Main event, yeah. Kid got his wig pushed back, Loz. Yeah, he did. I was talking to Boxing Kangaroo. It's possible he has been roiding a lot. Well, steroids is a prime example of where your hair goes. That's why mine fell out. Mind you, to be honest, my old man was bald anyway. But then my two brothers, Marv's not bald, but he's receding. And my other brother, Dean, he ain't bald at all. So, I don't know. I think it could be a bit of both. Mad Monk Miller, fucking piss. Charlene, salute, sweetheart. In the words of Willow Smith, I whip my hair back and forth. I love it, back and forth. Flapping like a duck's bill, for fuck's sake, yeah. Clinchy. Oh. Fucking hell, wizard. Obese slaphead. Oh, fucking ruthless. He could never glue it on. Maybe the toupee was like Wilder's costume. That's why the fight was close. Fucking pissy. Did any of you see Usyk picking it up in the ring? When he threw it out the ring, someone passed it Alexander Usyk and he picked it up and he was looking at it like that and then he threw it back on the floor. Oh, man. Let's go advert here. Yeah, I've never taken steroids and I've had no fucking hair since the late 30s. So, in my head, like these laughing emojis, pisser. Yeah, is Miller Syrup worse than Eubanks tattooed airline? Yeah, fucking hell, pisser. His friends ain't it. Don't tell him. Sweat, it would affect the glue. Yeah, he needs some Gorilla Glue, doesn't he? Just absolutely, yeah. Inspector Usyk. Fabio should have worn it. Fucking pissy. I tell you what, though, did any of you watch the? Oh God, who was it? Was it the Daily Mail boxing channel on Mail on Boxing? I think it was on there. It was on somewhere. There was John T. Wilder and Derek Chisora, and they were talking about the fight, and they were talking about Miller, and they FaceTime Miller, and he was driving his car, and he still had the airline across the front. I was laughing my head off, and they were fucking. Wilder was saying you've got no roof on it, no roof on top, and they were fucking laughing. Tell you what, though, he's a good sportsman, Miller, because he laughed it off. And they were saying, Derek said, you're not going to hear the last of this. And he said, I know. And he started laughing his head off. I thought it was quite stylish, man. Quite good. Usyk using that to plant his next move. Yeah. Hey, Loz. Eldon, salute to you, my good man. Obstacle sale are up, Loz. Oh, right. Yeah, I get you. I seen the photo of Sky Nicholson wearing a wig. Oh, no way. Yeah, it's a good sportsman. Yeah, he is. I think so, yeah. What do you think about Wilder's outburst? Yeah, we've just been on it, mate. On about it, think it's fucking just crazy, man. Just crazy. Just bad. Big baby throwing his toys out the pram. That's all. That's all it can be. It's crazy. Red Ibex, what do you know, man? Did Wilder duck Chisora in 2013? I don't know, mate. I know they were supposed to fight a few times, weren't they? Pretty unhinged. Yeah, it was, mate. Yeah, it was. Like I said before, I still believe Simon Jordan had the right to ask them questions. It's just, he's a bad loser. That's all it is. As much as I like Wilder, he's just a bad loser. That's all that is. It's a sore loser. Wilder is a real big baby. Yeah, he is. Yeah, he is. That hair was convincing, to be fair. The toupee guy needs to fix Ben's disgusting toothbrush. Fucking hell, I'm going to come on to her in a minute. It looked like a 70s. It looked like a 70s minge. Fucking ruthless. Fucking hell. I think Simon was very disrespectful. Yeah, he was, because he told him you don't want to talk about it. You will talk about it. Yeah. And Wilder said, no, we won't fucking talk about it. I noticed, Loz, I went on a few panels and this has brought all the Wilders out of retirement. Yeah, Wilder debts. I think it's hilarious. Yeah. I was seeing someone, a guy who I follow, Jay Roots, he was saying he's had a load of them giving him shit because of the videos what he's been making. That's why I didn't do a video on it. I've never spoke about this only on live streams. And if Tyrone or Mike were here, they'd tell you I've never spoke about any of that cheating shit. I never made a video about it. I never spoke about it, only if someone spoke about it on my live stream. And 9 out of 10 times, back then when I used to have a lot of people on my live streams, I used to get up and fuck off. I used to put my camera on go for a smoke because I couldn't be asked to talk about it. I wasn't interested because it was just all fake news. And when you hear people with the allegations, I was like, I can't listen to this shit, man. I can't listen to it because it's bullshit. It's absolute bullshit. But them clowns at the LDBC, they run with this shit. And that's what I mean. That's what they bring racism into boxing. Nobody else. Them. Because it's a black power supremacy bullshit group. You will talk about, yeah. Oh, read that. I'll read it off it. Is there a kind of LDBC Indian summer with this fight? Pisser. Makes sense to sound dumb makes sense it sounds dumb from the beginning. Exactly, yeah, it's bullshit, man. It's bullshit. Like I say, I've always said Fury might be many things, but he's not a fucking cheat, man. He's not. He might be a drugs cheat. I mean, there's allegations that he took drugs. I don't know. But he's not a fucking cheat. Spike Water, Mark Breland, fucking referee, and all the rest of the crap and egg weight gloves and no, mate. Because if he was that bad, you wouldn't have fought him a third time. You wouldn't. You just wouldn't do it, would you? I wouldn't anyway. If I had a fight with someone battered me, and I fucking found out that they'd been cheating, loaded gloves, whatever, I would never fight them again. I mean, can you ever remember that picture? That dent in the side of his head? That was crazy, man. As if that wasn't photoshopped. It was terrible. Big fucking dent inside of his head. Well, where's that dent today? Where is that dent today? And where's it been for the last 4 years? Or 3 years? Because I seen the picture of him with a massive dent in his head and Fury's gloves were like that. Where was the dent after the fucking fight? Why has he still not got that dent in his head? Fucking load of bollocks, man. This is going to give us hell. A lot of comedy over the next couple of months. Yeah. I was talking to Red Ibex. The Usman guy is more dodgy than the Jeffrey Epstein. Yeah. The LDBC are a bunch of panhandlers. Yeah, they are. Did Tyson have loaded gloves in the second fight with Wilder? No, did he fuck, man? Did he fuck? What? Did he fuck? Well, it's like Fury said. I seen an interview with Fury. Fury said, "Well, if I had loaded gloves, then why was Jay Diaz in the Jay Diaz, his trainer? Why was he in the room when I was having my hands wrapped and the gloves put on?" And he inspected the gloves as well as the referee and the boxing commission. So if he had loaded gloves, how did he get past Jay Diaz watching him have his hands wrapped and the gloves put on? and the boxing commission were there, and the referee checked the gloves. It's just fucking bullshit, man. Chisora KO Wilder by the 6th round, was. Yeah, he could do, but I'm not right. Yeah, he could do, but I'm not writing Wilder off because Derek's very fucking sloppy now coming forward. He's swinging big windmills, but if he's open and Wilder plants one of them big rights down the middle, I think he'll put Chizzy in planet space. Miller's hairpiece is like a boxing career's hair. Today gone, tomorrow ruthless. That looked fake. You have to find the video. Surely it wasn't real. Was it real? The team they have picked up. Yeah, it was someone. I saw it. It was a photoshopped picture, and a couple of people did videos with the picture. You know what? When I come off here tonight, I'm gonna go and try and find the picture. I can remember it was awful. And then they were saying Ricky Hatton was pulling his gloves down at the fucking in between the rounds, pulling his gloves down. It's fucking crazy, man. Some people. Fury had spring in his feet like Inspector Gadget. Yeah, the dent was held by Mark Breland. Water that he pissed in. Ruthless. Bum scored, can't box a lick. He had surgery on it on the dent, and by the looks of it, they removed it for his fucking brain through spanning that you ruthless get. JD has checked the wraps and the gloves. Facts, that's what I'm saying, yeah. And Wilder didn't fire J. Diaz. Exactly. That always, do you know what, right? Do you know what, James? Who put that? Eldon. That always bugged me. Why they fired Mark Breland, but they never fired J. Diaz? Isn't J. Diaz his trainer as well? And he checked the gloves. Because he's bullshit, man. We all know this. He's bullshit. Apparently, he had plaster of Paris. Lily Lewis Risto versus Billy Collins Jr. Pisser. Big John slipped 2 mil tarmac in. And he goes in the ring walk. Fucking never, right? Wilder. One sec. Posey says bum power at best. Facts out. Oh, right, yeah. Right, let's talk about something else now, because I've been on 38 minutes talking about that. Let's move on. We can always come back to it. Right, let's talk about fucking hell. This guy's off his nut as well. Old fucking Cisco. Man, this dude's fucking never right. I know before anyone hammers me. I know Shakur Stevenson called him in the ring. I know this. But did you see what he did with Rowley? That was fucking mental. He's been pestering. I've seen two interviews now where he's gate crashed Rowley. One of them was when Rowley was walking past the ring, which is the one in the bottom corner, and he grabbed Rowley's hand and pulled him into him and stuck his head on him. And then the second one was Rowley was getting interviewed off the Mail on Boxing, which is the Daily Mail's channel, and he fucking gate crashed him. And then next thing you know, he was fucking swinging each other around and that. He started ragdolling Rowley. And I thought, fucking hell, man, this guy's off his fucking head. And then he's saying Shakur's boring as fuck. He said, I've just waited 26 minutes of my life. You wouldn't keep me off you. You're boring. You've got no power. Fucking hell, I'll tell you what, Shakur Stevenson would whip the fucking piss out of that guy. He'd whip the piss out of him. Facts. Wilder even said Fury was banned in the US because he cheated. Nothing to do with MTK Global shit. I know, yeah, exactly. Hit the likes, it's free. Oh, salute to you. Yeah, smash that like button, please. It helps the channel grow. So, what do you think? I can't understand why this guy. Who is Conor Ben going to fight? Is it Rolly Ramirez? Is it Devin Haney? there was another one he was talking to. Devon Haney. Is it Shakur Stevenson? Is it Tank Davies? Is it Rolly Ramirez? Who the fuck is he? Who is he? But he's brassing himself out there like a right hoe, I think. Just fucking get on. I mean, what division is he fighting in? He's telling Shakur to come up to 147, yet he won't go down to 140. I don't know. I honestly don't know. Connor's got no idea. He hasn't. He hasn't boxing Kangaroo. He hasn't, buddy. Ben's acting like a fanny. Too many eggs. Yeah, Connor Hen knew what his fights are, like a dumb enough to come over. Yeah, he doesn't beat Conor Ben, right? I had Teofimo Lopez to beat Shakur Stevenson, and then I changed it Saturday morning because I watched a few clips and I was like, nah, mate, he ain't beating fucking Shakur Stevenson. I haven't seen a lot of Shakur Stevenson. I've seen that Padley fight and a few other fights, but I've not seen a lot of his fights. But I watched a few clips and I was like, he ain't beating Shakur Stevenson. So that's why I did that video, and I said, it was only a shit quick video, but I said, I'm picking Shakur to beat him on points. Now, can you truly tell me that a guy whose only best win is a washed up, boiled down Chris Eubanks Jr. is going to beat a 4-weight world champion? The slickness of Shakur Stevenson, the movement, the defence. You ain't going to land a glove on him, man. Because for starters, Conor Ben is too one-dimensional. He just charges forward, throwing shitloads of punches, doesn't he? Shakur will see that coming all day, slip and slide and whack. Eat one of them as you're coming in. That was a masterclass performance, what he did over Teofimo Lopez. Connor's no idea. Ben said in an interview he's fighting Rolly in May. Well, yeah, so I seen a post off him today, and it was, it was a DAZN post, Big Rick, and it was Conor Ben news coming soon. It was a tweet off him, but then it had Rolly, Devon Haney, Shakur, Rolly, and a few others, and I was like, hang on a minute, I thought you were supposed to be fighting Barrios. This is what I said last week, a week before? This is what I said about him. Who the hell is this kid going to fight? Because 1 week it's Barrios, then it's Devon Haney, then it's Brian Norman Jr., then it's Boots Ennis, then it's Rolly Ramirez, then it's Shakur Stevenson. Who the fuck is he going to fight? At what weight are you going to fight at? Is he picking Rolly because he sees Rolly as the weakest link? Because I can tell you now, that boy ain't going to go near Brian Norman Jr. He ain't going to go near Devon Haney. And he ain't going to go near Shakur Stevenson. To me, he's just, I don't know, man. Ben taking too much chipolata. Is that, what's that? Oh, sorry, I was going to say chipolata. My eyes are terrible. Clomiphene. Where's that gone? No, it's just jumped. Oh, for God's sake, where's that just gone? I'll have to skip the chat, man. You're right, Loz. Connor likes a stripper looking for a rich guy to grind on. Ruthless, yeah. Cool and Luke. No man can eat 50 eggs. Connor Ben, hold my oat milk. Fucking hell, my eyes, man. My oat milk latte. Yeah, he should try fight for a British title. Well, he should do, because this is what I'm going to come to. Fucking piss off. Fucking stupid notifications. So, for me, yeah, he's been brassing out there this week. I mean, that's a waste of time, yeah. He lives on the same cloud as Wilder. Yeah, Charlene, what a great comment. Ben has 2 fights in 3 years. Last won. No, now thinks he's the best out there. Well, that's what I mean. It's embarrassing. That's why I put in the picture. Embarrassing. Because it's embarrassing. You've been gate crashing everyone. And fucking, yeah, I understand. Someone put, that's how you sell fights. I was like, no, That's not how you sell fights. That's how you make yourself look a dick. Because you're going round saying all these American fighters are shit. He said, "Oh, the Brits are coming. They're boring. These American, these." He keeps saying, "Yank, these Yank fighters are boring. They're boring, mate. They're gonna come back to haunt you. I'm telling you. That kid don't beat none of them. He might beat Rowley, but he don't beat fucking Brian Norman Jr. He doesn't beat fucking. I don't even think he beats Rowley. I think Rowley beats him. I sound like I hate it. Maybe I am, but you can't go round town, right, with fucking holsters and no guns. You just can't do it. You've got to have a pair of guns. Mate, you've not beaten anyone to be talking about these fighters like Devin Haney, Shakur Stevenson, Rolly Ramirez, Ryan Garcia. I know Ryan's not won a belt because he got stripped of it, but you can't go about talking about these fighters as if they've done nothing and they're nobodies. You can't do it, man, because when you get in the ring, karma's going to come back and bite you on your ass. You just need, Conor Benn just needs to fucking zip it, get out of the camera, put your head down, crack on with your training, get a fight, and let's see what you've got to give. Instead of going round brassing yourself out and saying all these fighters are shit fighters when these guys are multiple world champions, undisputed, different division world champions. It's fucking crazy, man. Rolly right, knock him out. Yeah, Ben's had, yeah. Boxing is a joke now. It is. It's becoming a fucking circus clown. It's this guy. When I see him, it does to me. It's embarrassing. It's cringy watching him. It's cringy because you're not on that level. You're not on that level. You can't beat Chris Eubanks and think I'm a world class operator because Chris Eubanks has never beaten world class operators. He's beaten ex world champions. But they were fucking shot to bits. Abe Arthrams, whatever he was called, you know who I mean. And James DeGale, people like that. Eubanks Jr. is also British level facts. He is juice level. Boxing's gonna do hell like a buzzy what? I can't read that. Something breaks. A buzz. It's some kind of slang. Eubank Jr. ain't worth bragging about. No, he isn't, exactly. Put the work in. Exactly. Conor Benn is a pick-me-ho. They can make better fights over here. Well, let's talk about this then. Because Josh Kelly, fucking another fight I missed. Got back, switched it on, and it was on round 10. I went off me. Oh, mate, I went fucking sick. I went absolutely mad. I was fuming. I thought, this ain't going to come on till about 10 o'clock. Put TV on at 9:45 and he was fucking round 10. I was nearly crying. Josh Kelly. Does he beat Josh Kelly? Well, I'm going to ask you lot to answer me that. Martin Daniels, salute to you, mate. He's making himself look a prick. Yeah, he is, buddy. Ben is the new Charlie Zeldoff. Yeah, the fights ain't happening. Turkey's money, even though super high, can't get these guys to fight. Yeah, Conor Benn is. Yeah, I've read that. Great win for the kid. Absolutely it was, yeah. I would not be surprised if content creators stop covering boxing. Could be, mate. I don't do as much as I used to. Because as you know, I've told you before, I've never been one of them fucking guys who does, who has to report, he's done this, he went for a meal, do you know what I mean? Like some people on, some boxing commentators, like breaking news, Conor Benn seen in Sainsbury's in fucking East London. Do you know what I mean? It's just shit like that. It's got to mean something to me to make it, or mean something to me to make it mean something to you lot. Do you know what I mean? To make you want to click on the video, even if you don't watch it. Do you know what I mean? I can't be dealing with putting just stupid stuff out there. What really doesn't mean that much. But Josh Kelly, tremendous win. I only saw the last 3 rounds. Britain's got 2 new world champions in less than fucking a month. That's brilliant. Does he beat Josh Kelly? I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I heard Tony Bellew moaning about fucking Josh Kelly was running a lot. And I was speaking to a guy in the gym on Wednesday, and he said, oh, yeah, he was doing a bit of running. And I said, well, I can't comment on that because I've only seen the last 3 rounds of the fight. But I said, one thing I can say, if he was running as much as what Tony Bellew was saying and what you're saying, then look at that guy's face and look at Josh Kelly's face. That Miroslav, whatever his name was, Metislav, I can't pronounce his name. His face was fucked, man. He was fucking all cuts and swells and everything. So he couldn't have been doing that much bloody running. That's how I look at it. I would not be. Yeah, I read that. I know a guy that came as a cooking page because of boxing. He cooked Ben and dodgy omelette. Percy Eldon's put Josh Kelly dances around the eggs and boxes them up. Yeah, could be. Mr. Tommy Gunn, salute to you, bro. He's put, all right, Loz, are you saying that Conor Hen isn't a legit roadman? No, I don't think he is, bud. No, not at all. Big Loz waiting for the turkey coin. It'd be nice, wouldn't it? But I mean, Conor Benn is a good fighter, right? He's an exciting fighter. There's no doubt about it. He's an exciting fighter, but I think this is just me. No one else has to agree with this, but I think you're exciting when you're fighting lower tier operators because you can get off and do what you want against them people because you know you've got 1 foot over them. But when you start going up in the ranking systems or you start having more fights, the hard as it's like anything, isn't it? The harder the tasks become. So this is why I said him going over to America and saying that Devin Haney's trash and he's boring and Shakur Stevenson's boring and he's trash. It's just he's either deluded or he's that arrogant that he believes the own hype, what people are telling him. Because anyone with half a brain knows that he's never been anywhere near the fucking opposition of what them guys have fought. Do you know what I mean? So to come out and say that these are all boring fighters and the shit and the Brits are taking over, this is why I keep stating, when Conor Benn finally does get wiped out, his whole world's going to come tumbling down and he'll end up back on reality street because that's what he needs, a reality check. Will he fight? He won't fight Crocker. He won't fight Josh Kelly. So, I think, if I'm honest, I think Josh Kelly beats him. I think Josh Kelly's got too much skill for him. It'd be a good fight, though. Because, like I said, Conor Benn is exciting. But he's just, I don't know, he's two-dimensional for me. He didn't dance a lot. I don't know about Ben. He's just very unlikable. I don't think he is exciting. Fair point. He was running, mate. I didn't like it. Okay, fair enough. Loz, would you be holding hands with Bricktop and Turkey for the turkey coin, lol? Every man has a price. Fucking hell. No, I don't think I would, mate. No, you'd look a dick, wouldn't you? Mind you never fucking know. I'm not into fucking no, not at all, mate. No, I don't. No, I wouldn't. No, because you've got to have. You've got to have some kind of fucking level, haven't you? Do you know what I mean? Do you know what, right? This God's honest truth. money's never bothered me. Don't get me wrong, of course you want money and that. I don't mean it like that. I mean, my son's the same, man. My son never asked me for anything. He never asked me for anything unless he really has to ask me for something. And he's always been like that all his life. When he was a kid and you take him in shops, he never, I want this, like some kid. My son's never been like that. And I've never been like that. So, no, I don't think I would, no. Wear a rubber glove. Yeah, James, I was about to bring it up. Hen is from the Jake Paul influence generation. He's manifesting. Is that Goran? Pissy. The legit British Britain Europe call Loz tonight. We will drink many beers. Oh, salute to you. I hope you well, buddy. Salute to you, man. The Bronx finest. Is it Bronx? Brooklyn? No, Brooklyn, innit? Brooklyn's finest. Salute to you, Al. Nah, don't get pissed, Loz. Fucking boomers and flooring because the fat asses can't stay off the beer. No, mate, I keep saying it. I do this because this is a hobby. If I wasn't doing this now, I wouldn't be drinking, man. I only have a beer with it because it takes the edge off it, and it's Friday night, isn't it? No, hold on to a brick top for a mill, loss, lol. I do agree for the fee. No Diddy though. No, absolutely no. Dalton Smith would do, Ben. Yeah, he would. Yeah, he bloody would. Yeah, he would. Yeah, he would. That's what I mean. It's interesting. Anyway, enough about him. Let's talk quickly then, because I've got a few things to get through. So Cisco's been brassing himself out this week, but he just really needs to calm down, Connor. That's all he needs to do. And I think people like him. Excellent display from Shakur Stevenson, an absolute masterpiece. I watched it the next day. I couldn't stay up and watch it. I really wanted to, but I was absolutely shattered. And I set my alarm, but before I fell asleep, it just got turned off. I thought I can't do it, man. I'm 50 years old this year. I can't do that shit no more. Tremendous win for Josh Kelly. Nice lad, man. Nice, humble lad. Been through a few troubles, and it was good to see him, after all this time, because I didn't think he was going to get a world title, but fair dues to the lad. I don't know, it's for free. Yeah, fucking old heads are calling us boring because we don't drink. Yeah, I don't know, like Tiafimo. I don't like Tiafimo. Yeah, he was a bad loser. Started moaning after, didn't he? Loz, can you do a gym vlog? Yeah, I can do. I train on my own a lot. Me now. I used to train with a lad. So I have to get a tripod or something to lean my phone up against. I wouldn't do I could do, I suppose. You only drink, Loz, when you're doing videos. You've done about 25 videos this week. I don't drink in the week, buddy. Do I look like someone who drinks every day? I fucking hope I don't. Yeah, I can do a gym vlog, man. Yeah, I'm back into my gym as well. Really, went off. Fucking hell, I'm back. I went off it a bit at Christmas, but I've jumped back in. Hey, did he really? He did really well to come back from the. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, Tommy Gunn. Because I thought Josh Kelly. I thought that was it for him. Because he seemed to slip off the radar, and then, yeah, man, he did brilliant. I'm so glad for him. Wilder drinks pints of. Yeah, I know what that is. That's that fucking ayahuasca shit, isn't it? Ayahuasca. What's the juice called though? What do you call it? Why is boxing stale? What the fuck? I don't know. It's been shit the last couple of years. 2024 was a great year for boxing, I thought. So anyway, yeah, right, let's get through this. Right. Nobody's talking about this. I seen this Monday night, and it was Lizard who comes into the chat, told me about it, but I saw the article, right? And there's no more proof why Tyson Fury will be fighting Alexander Usyk next after this Makhmudov fight. So it says Tyson Fury versus Aslanbek Makhmudov. The winner's set to get a high world ranking, says WBC President Maurizio Sullivan. Tyson Fury stepped away, blah, 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 in April, when he fights Aslanbek Makhmudov in the UK. The WBC President Maurizio Sullivan explains why Fury versus Makhmudov winner will be an absolute, I can't see it on there, let me read it off here, absolutely merit a high world ranking. So basically, we all know that the WBC is in bed with Tyson Fury. So the winner of that fights Alexander Usyk. It's got to be, because the Tyson Fury, if I can remember, is still ranked number 1. Let me just have a look. WBC heavyweight rankings. WBC heavyweight rankings. Let's have a look. I swear Tyson Fury's still number 1. No, he's moved. KBL. No, fucking hell, he's not even there. They've got Lawrence Okoli. This is what I mean with all this shit. So they've got Alexander Usyk, obviously the champion, Ajit Kabayel, the interim champion, and then it goes to number 1, Lawrence Okoli, because he's got the silver. Daniel Dubois, Anthony Joshua. So where's Tyson Fury? No way, Tyson Fury's not even ranked. It's got to be. Anthony Joshua, Daniel Dubois, Anthony Joshua, Moses Ntoma, Filip Ergovic, F.A. Ajabba, Martin Piccoli, Richard Torres, Frank Sanchez, Zhilei Zhang, Jabaloff, someone else, Deontay Wilder, Derek Chisora, Jared Anderson, Otto Wiley. Now's he in the top 20? Swedish rug. No, Fury's not even ranked in there. That's got to be bullshit, that. Let me try another one. This is a better one. Full right. Fuck off. You fucking adverts. WBC full rankings. My God, adverts. Yeah. No way, Tyson Fury's not even ranked in the WBC top 20. Well, this only goes to 15. Fucking hell, no way. Fury's not even ranked in the top 15. That's crazy, that. So he's not going to be ranked in the top 15. Yeah, if he wins, he's going to get a shot at Alexander Usyk. How does that work out then? How is he not in the top 15? But the winner's promised a high ranking. That's crazy, man. Electric Suit gives you wings. Bivol and Better Beer fights were the highlight of a few years ago. Yes, they were, Mr. Tommy Gunn. They're on about that being the third one being announced soon. That's why boxing is a joke. Yeah, boxing doesn't get any better than that. Yeah, boxing was cleaner when the Mafia were running it. Yeah, when Loz, I will laugh my bollocks off if Fury gets knocked out. He could possibly do. I don't see it myself, but you never know. So Tyson's going to fight KBL for a belt if he wins in the next fight. Well, Big Rick, you would think so. Or Lawrence Okoli. But how is this then? How is this? Right, a couple of months ago, I checked the rankings and I did it on a live stream. And he was still ranked number 1, Tyson Fury was. So now he's having a fight with Aslanbek Makhmudov, right, in April. And as of today, he's not even in the top 15 rankings of the WBC. And when I went on that first page, he wasn't in the top 20. So how is he going to how is somebody who's not ranked in the top 20, top 15, how's he going to get a high ranking? How? That's so unfair, that. Favouritism bullshit again from the fucking WBC. I bet you my life on it. I've always said that he will fight fucking the Alexander Usyk fight is happening. Did any of you see that interview the other day where Alexander Usyk said he thinks it'll be Tyson Fury? He'll be what he wants to fight. He didn't say next, but he said, I think it'll be Tyson Fury. Did any of you not see it the other day? I saw it on a short on YouTube. So, I bet you this what happens. As I've always said, he'll fight Alexander Usyk. He'll fight Makhmudov and hope that he beats him. And then I bet you any money on it, he fights Alexander Usyk next. This year. That fight happens this year. On my life, that fight happens this year. He said he wants to fight in April and he wants to fight late summer. So he'll fight Makhmudov, hoping to beat Aslanbek Makhmudov. And if he does, he'll fight. I bet you any money he fights Alexander Usyk at Tottenham Stadium or Wembley in late summer, early autumn. I put my life on it. It happens. I read that. Fury using his white privilege, or brown envelopes full of money. Fucking ruthless. Usyk, don't do it. Putting in on Fury's side. Yeah, exactly. I'm dying to see Fury versus Chisora 456. Mog, what's up with you, man? Hope you're well, buddy. Thanks for coming through. What about Fabio? Exactly. What about Fabio? Why is he not fighting Fabio Wardley? He ain't going to go near Fabio Wardley, even though I think Fury would beat Fabio Wardley. I really do. It would. It would make sense for Fury to fight Fabio Wardley and get a belt. And then go after Alexander Usyk. But I don't know, man. I don't know what's happening. But I'm predicting, right? Like I say, I could be way off, but I'm predicting he fights Makhmudov and then he fights Alexander Usyk this year. I really think so. I really, really do. What about Joe Smith? Yeah, Joe Smith's been frozen out, man. And still to this day, I don't know what's going on with him. It's now 4 weeks today. Spencer Brown said that it would all come out about Joseph Parker, what's happening with him. And that's 4 weeks ago. He said, next week it's all coming out, so we'll know what's happening. Joe Smith Parker is still being pushed to the back burner. Joseph sniffed himself into a band. Yeah, Loz, you know fish eyes fighters don't fight each other. Exactly, mate. Exactly. Absolutely. Do you know what he reminds me of? Big Rick. It reminds me of someone like having all these classic cars or all these high performance cars, Ferraris, Lambos, Bugattis, Pagani's, fucking Koenigsegg's. You know, it reminds me of someone having an absolute world class fucking collection of mint high performance cars, but never fucking uses them. That's how I see Bricktop. He's got all these fucking heavyweights in his stable, but none of them ever fucking. He never uses any of them. Well, he never uses any of them against each other. It's absolutely pointless. What's the point in having all these heavyweights if you're not going to make them fight each other? He has got about 3 good cards worth of heavyweights there, what he could make cards out of making these fighters fight. He's fucking crazy, man. Usyk ducked Fabio from the accounts. Where's that just gone? Usyk ducked Fabio from accounts. I don't think he did, but I don't think Usyk ducks anyone. But you never know. Never say never, could you? Turkey and Usyk, please don't. Fury should fight AJ, nobody else. I totally agree with you. I totally agree with you. Eldon, I don't think you could. People could say that, but I don't think you could say that because Alexander Usyk, to me, don't duck nobody. Plus, he's looking for the big bag, isn't he? But saying that, Fabio Wardley versus Alexander Usyk is a stadium sellout fight over here in the UK. That brings in big money. Maybe not the same as Tyson Fury, but I think you'd be surprised. I think he very well could do because Fabio's the new kid on the block, isn't he? He's the new kid on the block. Plus, he's the only British fighter what fucking Usyk hasn't flogged. So us Brits would want to see that. He's a new kid on the block with a belt, fighting for undisputed at Wembley. That's a big sellout fight. That would, and a lot. Everyone loves Fabio because he's a decent guy, isn't he? And everyone loves Usyk. That, yeah. So people, I could see people saying that, but that's a great fight, man. That's a sellout fight. So you're not fighting Wilder. Who are you fighting? Are you fighting Caballero? If not fight Caballero, why are you not fighting Fabio Wardley? So you've got a good point there, Alden, to be fair, mate. Why people would consider that. Wait, is Wilder versus Chizzy going to be pay-per-view? I don't know. But I wouldn't put it past them making it pay-per-view because it's Derek's last fight, isn't it? So I think it very well could be. I think it is. I think it is, yes. I don't know. I've not seen it as proof, but James, I think it is, yeah. Does Bricktop have coffins underneath the underneath the stable? Pissy. Jerry Skeptical is put. Skeptical Jerry has put. Good point, Loz. Oh, salute to you, good man. Hope you're well anyway, bud. Thanks for coming through. Joe Sniff been set up. Big John gave him dodgy nettle soup. Yeah. Alexander Usyk deserves a break. Was Ruiz to kept busy for a fight for AJ? Yeah, he does. But I mean, right, am I fair saying this? How long a break does he deserve, though? Let's have a look. When did Alexander Usyk box rec? This thing's fucking shite. Google never gets what you want, man. Well, it must be my lingo. Yeah. July. December 24, May 24. Yeah, he fought Fury twice. I forgot about that. He fought Fury twice in 24. So, yeah, I don't know. But, yeah, coming up for... Well, it's not coming up for a year, but it won't be far off a year before you know it. Derek Bailey, salute to you, my good man. He does deserve a break. Of course he does. I like Fabio. He's a good guy. Yes, he is, mate. It's been Derek's last fight since 2019. Absolutely. Yeah, it has. Ruiz was a keep busy fight for AJ. Then Usyk could take a busy fight as well. Yeah, good point. Derek, salute, man. Boxing Monkey, salute to you, my good man. Still in Cambodia? Or are you in Vietnam now? Fucking hell, he's in Vietnam now. Fabio would never give up against Usyk. Bloke has massive ticker. Let's Usyk fight the winner of Fury Fabio. Greetings from Vietnam. Oh, salute to you, my good man. Good point. Yeah, good point. To be, what's that? To be Usyk, you need to make it a fight. Fabio has the best chance of making it a square go, banging the big right. Yeah. I just think Fabio would be a great challenge for Usyk at this stage. Be a great but risky. Yeah, it'd be a good challenge, but I think this is just my opinion, Alden. I think Usyk whips him. I think, and the reason I always come back to every time I say Fabio's got no defense. His hands are too low. I don't know. For me, I just think would you say Fabio Wardley is a better boxer than Daniel? I'm not on about tougher or who you think could win. I'm on about style wise. Do you think that Fabio Wardley is a better boxer than Daniel Dubois? style-wise, or Anthony Joshua, I would say no, if I'm honest. Don't get me wrong, Fabio's come on a lot better, but I think Daniel Dubois is a better boxer than Fabio Wardley. As in style. That's what I'm trying to say. Mike, salute to you, buddy. Oh, Dusty Foot Johnson, what's up with you, Mike? He's put, what's up? Yeah, I'm good, buddy. If Usyk can put Dubois on his arse, surely he can do the same to Fabio. Didn't Fabio get wobbled off Clark? This is what I'm saying. That's exactly what I'm saying. Go and watch the Justy Sooney fight. If Justy Sooney can put their hands on you for 11 rounds, what would Alexander Usyk do? Honestly, I know I sound like a hater, I really do, but I'm not. I like Fabio Wardley. I'm just talking what I see, and what I see is Fabio his hands are too low, man. His hands are too low, and he's got no defense. Well, barely a defense. And I don't think stylistically he's a better boxer than Daniel Dubois. And like someone's just said, if he can do that to Daniel Dubois, what could he do to Fabio? I don't know. I don't know. It's an exciting fight, but I just don't see him beating Alexander Usyk. I don't. I really don't. I don't see him. Him and Dubois was a good fight. But honest and on art, if I had to pick a winner, I would go Daniel Dubois against Fabio Wardley. I would. I really would. I think he's Joe Joyce 2.0. A lot better than, I wouldn't say, I do. Excuse me, he's relying on that granite chin and his hands are too low. As Michael tell you, bullseye. What are you eating? Bullseye? What? Salad? Oh, bullshite salad. Why, he on a diet? He could get that KO, yeah. No, Fabio. I'm missing the chat. No, Fabio is worse, wise, and better KO wise. Yeah, good point. He has got the KO power, though. Yes, he has, Eldon. Of course he has. And I'm not saying for 1 minute, I'm not saying if Fabio didn't connect with Alexander Usyk, he wouldn't knock him out. I'm not saying that. He's got the equaliser. He can knock anyone out. Absolutely he could, buddy. But I just don't see him catching Alexander Usyk. Not cleanly, anyway. Usyk has grown into the heavyweights now. Just watch the KOs come. It took a while with Holyfield. What a cracking point. On paper, AJ should have beaten Dubois. It's just that he's not mentally there. Good point, yeah. His defence is poor, to be fair. That's what I'm saying, Eldon. I'm not trying to make you agree with me, buddy. I'm not trying to make anybody agree with me. I'm just saying what I see, that's all. And like I say, you don't have to agree with me. Both Fabio and Daniel are there to get hit. Both hit hard. I think Fabio has more heart and takes more punches. Yeah, I think he's got more heart than Dubois. I would say that. But I just think Dubois' style, I just think Dubois' experience and his style would be too much for him. Triple knee is chinny. Yeah, he is. That's a good point, though, Random Dom, James, what you put. Random Dom's but I think Dubois and Fabio should fight, but Bricktop, the fan, he won't allow him. Well, we know that, don't we, buddy? Absolutely. I don't know about Fabio as good as a good chin. He got stunned at a time and he ain't granite level. Yeah. Well, Big Freeze had him shaking, didn't he? Big, what do you call him? That's off watching Porky. What did he call him? He's got another name, hasn't he? Big Freeze, but he has got another name. Even Fabio clips Usyk, I don't think it would be enough. There you go, that's random done. Fabio marches on. Daniel hits the deck like a sniper. Fair point. We haven't seen Usyk take a proper full flush on the chin shot yet, but you never know. Anyone can make a mistake. Of course he can. What a great comment. Thomas. What a great comment. Absolutely. The puncher has always got a chance, hasn't he? Always. Especially in heavyweight boxing. But they always say a punch. They always say a boxer beats a puncher, don't they? Whether that's true or not, I don't know. I think Fabio's a great fighter. I love the guy. I think he's humble. He's well mannered. He's not disrespectful. You can quite clearly see he's got dog in him. He's got heart. He thrives for the sport. But unfortunately, because I think Fabio's not had that experience of being an Olympian, I think that's where he lacklusters to the rest of people like Dubois, who's come from an Olympic background. You know, let's not forget, it wasn't so long ago he went life and death with Big Fraser Clark. But he corrected that the second time round. Yes, I know that. But it's not that long ago that he went life and death with Big Fraser. And now look at Big Fraser. Big Fraser's on the fucking scrap heap near enough, isn't he? He took one flush from Dubois with AJ. Dubois Chisora, I think he's fine. Yeah, Usyk's got a good chin, yeah. But I know what Thomas is saying though. I think we do agree, Loz. Just Fabio's power, style, heart makes it interesting. There you go, buddy. That's what I'm talking about. It's a cracking fight, man. Honestly, if I woke up in the morning tomorrow, right, and I clicked on fucking YouTube or the internet, whatever, and I saw breaking news, Daniel Dubois versus Fabio Wardley, I would absolutely fucking wet my pants with joy. I'd be jumping around like a big kid. That's a massive sellout fight all day long in the UK. It's exciting. You know that fight ain't going the distance. Someone's getting knocked out, who I don't know, but I would have to pick. Once I sat down and looked at both of the styles, I would have to, hand on heart, I would have to pick Dubois because I think Dubois, fundamentally, and his IQ and that, and his experience, I think Dubois is a better fighter. I'm not saying that he would beat him. Well, I think he would, yeah. I'd have to say Dubois would beat him. And I think it stems from because of Dubois' Olympic background. You can see that, you know, one's a, just let's say, one's a fucking M3 BMW and one's an M Sport. The two different, same car, but two different engines. Do you know what I mean? I'm not saying that. I'm just trying to say like what Jerry's saying. Skeptical Jerry. He gets what I'm trying to say. He took one flush with age. I've read that. I like Fabio's story. Yeah, I do. Like I say, James, I'm not trying to bring the kid down. I like Fabio Wardley. Oh, of course I do, man. I completely like the kid. I just don't think because I said, right, if Mike's still here in the chat, right, many years ago, right, was it 2000 and, when did I move in here? 2019, so it was either 2018 or 2017. Michael Johnson, Boxing Talking More, who's just been in the chat. If Mike's still here, he'll tell you. Mike streamed the Richard Lartley Daniel Dubois fight to me years ago, right? He streamed it to me on his phone or however he did it. And I sat in my kitchen and I watched it with Mike. And I was like, me and Mike were both saying, fucking hell, man. Lartley was teeing off on him. And you could see it. And it was hurting him. And Mike said one day, Mike was saying one day, this kid is gone. It's like he wants to quit. Fucking hell, he fights Joe Joyce about a year or two later, and that's what he did. Yeah, I know his eye was smashed in that, but he's shown it in several times against Kevin Lorraine or whatever. Yeah, that's right, Loz. We did watch. There you go, Mike's there. Mike's in the chat telling you. Yeah, do you remember that, Mike? And we were saying, Mike was saying like The boy's he ain't showing like he's got no heart and that. And he was right. And remember the Joe Joyce thing, Mike? You said all them years ago, Joe Joyce is a disaster waiting to happen. And all these people running with, he's got this granite chin and all that. And I did myself. And then Mike always said, one day when he fights someone who's got hands and can bang, he's gone. Fucking hell, and you weren't half right, Mike. Look what Zhang did to him. Terrible knockout. That it was awful. Which was your most enjoyable recent fight? Mine was Dubois AJ. That was a cracking fight. Do you know what? If I'm honest, do you know one of my Dubois beats the racism out of AJ, the bodybuilder, ruthless. I'll come back and answer your question in a minute. They'd have to get George Fox to do a build up for Daniel Dubois, ruthless. The build up would be dull. The fight would be great. Yeah, it would be. Daniel gets hit too easy for me. He suffers from Gary Glitter and this. Fucking hell. Disneyland. You're ruthless. That's right, Loz. Yeah, we did. Inactivity ruined Joe Joyce. I disagree there, James. I'll tell you what ruined Joe Joyce. Well, yeah, you've got a point, actually. You have got a point. Because he went on a great run, didn't he? He beat Joseph Parker, he beat Daniel Dubois, he beat Joseph Parker, he beat the little Cameroon dude who AJ struggled with. Oh, what was his name? Little stocky fella who Derek Chisora knocked out. He beat him, and then he got parked up, didn't he? And then Bricktop threw him in with fucking Zhang a year later. So yeah, you're right. Yeah, I told folks Joyce just hides it well, and then he gets hurt just like Fury. Good point, Mike. Yeah, Zhang's left hand. Yeah, Zhang Bricktop ruined Joe Joyce. Yeah, they did. Richard had not trained that day. Yeah, because he was a late, wasn't he? Didn't he have problems getting his visa? He did, didn't he, Mike? They weren't allowing him in. The fight nearly got called off. Tete or Cabell, I don't know who that is. No, he was the guy who Anthony Joshua struggled with, and Derek knocked him out. He's from Cameroon. Can't think of his bloody name. Yeah, the visa. Joyce went on pro too late then. It was out for ages. Injuries, I think. Yeah. Takam, that's him. Yeah. Carlos Takam, that's him. Yeah. So, yeah, really, what these boxing big channels, like these real big channels who get access to Bricktop, they should, one of them should have a list of all Bricktop's fighters, because London and the Sticks called them all out. He had 15 heavyweights going down to O'Coley and all people like that. Someone should say, you've got all these heavyweights, Frank. Why are they not fighting each other? Because you pretty much own the heavyweight fucking division. I mean, he's got everyone. He's got Tyson Fury, he's got Fabio Wardley, he's got Caballel, he's got Joseph Parker, he's got fucking Moses and Toma, he's got everybody, man. Everybody. What's Mike put? Takam is a kebab guy, lol. Pisser. You need to pay me to watch a Coley fights. Yeah, O'Coley, yeah. Roger Miller. He was a great player, Roger Miller. Takam is, yeah, I read that. Bricktop could make 4 or maybe 5 big shows this year. Couldn't he just? He really could. Right, let's talk about this quick, so I'm getting ready to wrap up. That's stacked now, the 140 junior welterweight, man. Look at that. You got Dalton Smith, Gary Antoine Russell, and you've got Shakur Stevenson and Richard Hitchens. That's a stacked that's 4 good champions there, man. But for me, I tell you what, that Gary Antoine Russell's a good fighter, isn't he? I'd love to see that. Imagine that, Dalton Smith versus Gary Antoine Russell. Shakur Stevenson versus Richard Hitchens. Or Richard Hitchinson. Is it? I can't. My eyes are terrible, man. I can't even see. Say Shakur Stevenson versus Dalton Smith. There, well, that's a stat thing. Right, let's play a little game before we get up out of here. Don't sleep on Russell. Don't sleep on Russell. He's a weapon. What do you mean by that? Because weapon over here means dickhead. Bricked heavyweight, 105 possible fights. That excuses rematches. Yeah. I like that Gary Antoine Russell. I think he's a good fighter, me. Right. Let's play a little game before we get up out of here. Who's that? Oh, Boots is calling out Josh Kelly. Well, so they're saying. 154 is mine. Anybody with a belt, Josh Kelly got a belt, so he can get it. Do you know what, right? Let me tell you this. After I watched that fight, Weapon is an Oz. Oh, right, okay, yeah. I got you. It's just over here. Weapon means, but like dickhead. That's what it means. Weapon over here. I forgot. Yeah, you're from Oz. Boxing Monkey. Right, let's talk about this just quickly. When Josh Kelly beat that Ibrahim fucking Miroslav, whatever his name is, why did that commentator keep saying, "Oh, Boots Ennis, Boots Ennis, Boots Ennis," and then Frank Smith said Boots Ennis. But Josh Kelly, he did say, well, anyone, but he didn't seem that interested in Boots Ennis. Let me tell you something here, right? Now, you might think I'm a bit out of order saying this. That would not be a very good move for Josh Kelly. Maybe somewhere down the line, yes, there's a big stadium fight and a money fight. But what I'm trying to say is, a young man just won a world title. Jerome Boots Ennis is not the first person, not to me anyway. Jerome Boots Ennis is not the type of person you want to go and make for your first title defence. I don't know. What do you lot think? Fish Eyes has got all these heavyweights in his garage covered up like a polishes and covered up and polishes one every Sunday morning and covers it back up. Exactly, Thomas. What a great comment. Eyes pointing different. Direct look, Nookie Bear. What do you lot think? Do you lot think that Josh Kelly should go and fight Boots Ennis as his next opponent? Or do you think that's a bit of a dangerous fight? Me personally, I think that'd be a bit silly. I think. Don't know. What do you think, James? No one's answering the question. Dangerous, yeah. I think it would be. I don't know. I'd like to see the fight, but I think Josh should be able maybe fight a bum or something at first. You know what I mean? Make a couple of title defences. Not be thrown in straight with Jerome Boots Ennis. I think that's crazy, me. Ennis would spark Kelly in 5 rounds. That's what I'm thinking. It'd be fucking bit daft to do it. Seems a bit tough for you first, but if you're the champ, then all comers. Yeah, good point. That's a good point. Dangerous first defense. He'll sell out the stadium. I like though. Yeah, he would do. But yeah. You see, the 2 bottom comments are both true. But then you got to think like this. Jerry's put, seems a bit of a tough fight for your first title defense, but you're the champion and it's all comers. Yes, absolutely. And then I agree with James. Dangerous first defense. He'll sell out the stadium alike, though. Yeah, he would do. But would that be his only sellout stadium? Would that ever be his only big fight? Because if he's just won the world title now, and then say a couple of months down the line, the Boots Ennis coming to the Stadium of Light and he gets sparked out in a few rounds, would Josh ever get them big fights again? That's why I'm saying that I think with him, it's taken him this long to get a world title. I think the best move, if I was Adam Booth, would be chuck him a few lower tier fighters. Let him have a couple of, let him have a Stadium of Light fight against someone who's not on Boots's level. Do you know what I mean? Let him have a few big fights, do you know what I mean? Let him have a few fights, and then put him in with a big fight against Boots Ennis, because he could put him in with Boots Ennis, and then he gets banged out, and then he never ends up fighting fucking in front of his hometown again, because he might not ever get a world title again, because he's getting on a bit now, isn't he? That's what I think. I've read that. Dangerous fight for Kelly after the first fight. Totally agree, Thomas. Totally agree. Big names. No, stay away. Derek's put no, exactly. Yeah, see, you sort of see what I'm saying then. They should build him up. Exactly, Random Don. That's what they should do, buddy. Build him up. Let him have a couple of tune-up fights first. It's taken him all 20 years of his career to get a world title. Poor lad doesn't need to lose it in his first defence. That would be suicidal, because he would miss out on the big paydays, wouldn't he? Like you say, build him up, and then bam, give him a massive payday. Unless Josh no longer wants the belt. Good point, Derek. Good point. I can see both sides of the argument. Yeah, Conor Benn. Well, that's what they're talking about, aren't they, Conor Benn? Yeah. Conor Benn, yeah, that's what they're talking about. But I don't know. I don't even think Conor Benn deserves a title shot. He's not done anything to deserve a title. Why should that kid start getting title shots? He's not beating anyone to deserve a title. That's what pisses me off about boxing. Did you see him in the ring? I laughed my fucking nut off the other day in the ring. There was Golovkin. Who was there? There was Golovkin, Bivol, Beterbiev, all these ex-world champions or world champions, and then they had Conor Benn in the ring. And I was like, what the fuck is he doing in the ring with all these? There was Golovkin, there was Beterbiev, Golovkin. I can't remember, man. There was Bivol was there. There was about 5 or 6 world champions, and it was like, man, what's he doing in there? Josh Kelly versus Tim Tszyu. Stadium, yeah, Phil's. That's a good fight. There's a great fight, man. That fills the Stadium of Light easy. That's a great fight. Yeah, why not? Why not? Someone like that, because he's beat the man who beat the man. So yeah, that would be interesting. I saw that, Loz, and I thought exactly the same thing. Yeah, Conor Benn would be easy defence for the most money for Josh. Yeah. Do you do what Fury did? Got a belt and pick fights? Exactly. Why not? Why not? Why not? I just think that's suicidal, if I'm honest. I think that's a bad mistake, because the poor lad could lose it just like that before he's even had chance to even earn any money out of it. I think that's a no-no. Stay the fuck away from Jerome Boots Ennis, at least for the time being. Do what they said. Build him up. Let him have a few tune-up fights. Pick a few fights who he wants. You can have tune-up fights and still have them in a Stadium of Light and sell out and earn a good crust off it. Of course you can. Them Geordies and all North East will be behind him. Sunderland, Middlesbrough, Newcastle. All them YI men and will be behind him, because they all were at the weekend. Right. Let's play a little game before we get up out of here. Right, a prime. I've seen this on Facebook again. It's the same webpage, but different fighters. A prime Marvin Hagler at middleweight versus prime James Toney, even though James Toney wasn't in his prime or should we say, let's say then, Hagler versus James Hagler versus James Toney at middleweight. Who would you go for? Hagler. Do you think there'd be a do you think there'd be a knockout? Or do you think it'd be a war like we said last week with Mike McCallum? Hagler all day long, yeah. Points, yeah. That's what I thought when I saw it. I thought that'd be points. That'd go to the scorecard. Because James Toney never got stopped, did he, Toney? Not to my knowledge. And he had a granite chin. Hagler by a vicious KO. Oh, right, okay. Hagler versus Triple G would be brutal. Yeah, it would be. I've done that one before. Yeah, that'd be a great fight. Oh my God, Toney just best defense. Hagler best. Oh my God, James Toney just. Oh right, best defense. Hagler has fought. Yeah, Hagler would outwork him. Hagler was more natural weight for him. So everyone's going for Hagler. Who are you picking, Boxing Monkey? I think it'd be a damn good fight, though. Hagler more natural. I couldn't see that being a knockout, if I'm honest. I think that'd go to the scorecards, like last week's one. I don't know. It's just a bit of fun. I read the comments, and a lot of people did pick Hagler, if I'm honest. Hagler was the man at the middleweight, the perfect fighting machine, near unstoppable. Yeah, when you watch that fight, the Mugabe fight, fucking hell, them punches, what they're both taking. It sort of reminds me, not as in the style of fight, but that Mugabe fight, Marvin Hagler versus Mugabe, sort of reminds me of David Tua versus Ikabuchi, that fight. Have any of you ever seen that? Where they just two big bangers bang the shit out of each other, but it goes to the scorecards. Unbelievable how none of them got knocked out. I think both capable of winning at least one each. Need a trilogy. That's a fair point. That's a good point, man. Because Toney was a good fighter, wasn't he? He was an incredible fighter, James Toney. Do people have bias towards the last generation of fighters? I think they could do. I mean, Hagler, as you know, is my favourite fighter. Last week, I was flitting to and fro. I couldn't make my mind up. But this week, I would say probably Hagler on points. But then, I don't know, because it's tough how you look at it. It's very similar to like what Boxing Monkey said. Both capable of winning. Would need a trilogy. I think so. I think it's a good fight anyway. Right, folks. I'm up out of here. Fucking hell, it's 11:15 at night. I'm up out of here. Thanks everyone for coming through. Who have we got in the house? James Jameson. Thanks very much, buddy. Always a pleasure. Boxing Monkey, an absolute pleasure, buddy. Random Don, you crazy mofo, a pleasure. Thomas, thank you. An absolute pleasure, my good man. Jerry Skeptic, a pleasure too. Salute to you. Michael Johnson, salute to you. Derek Bailey, salute, buddy. Thanks for coming through. A pleasure. Martin Daniels, a pleasure. If I've missed you, Big Rick from across the pond, salute to you. Wizard, you crazy mofo. Right, if I've missed you, I've missed you. I hope I haven't upset anyone tonight, but I never know. Sometimes I do. Hagler, because he would be in better condition than Toney, in my opinion. What a great comment. What a great comment. What a great comment. You've nailed it there, Derek. You've nailed it there. Laters, Loz, enjoy your weekend. Enjoy it. Hit the likes on the... Yeah. Hit the like button, please, on the way out. What a great comment that is, man. Yeah, James Toney, because he wasn't the best condition, was he? Whereas Hagler was. What a great comment. Martin Daniels, salute. Right, I'm going to love you and leave you. Peace out. Enjoy your rest of your weekend, and I'll see you very soon in the week with a video. Peace out. Thank you very much.